Hello and welcome to Farrell's Notebook. Today we are going to make this beautiful and exciting collage paper with the supplies we have on hand. So I used a piece of copy paper and 3 colors of acrylic paint. So pick 2 neutrals and 1 color that excites you. So I did magenta, brown, and white. You'll also need some writing implements. So I used a black Sharpie, a white Sharpie, and a small paintbrush and a pen to add these details. And then a paintbrush to put down the paint for the stripes on your page. Now the goal here, whenever I post a video making art, is that you watch and think, I could do that. I could make mixed media art. And one of the biggest draws of this project is that you do not need to buy anything. Use what you have. A piece of copy paper. You could even use something that already has words printed out on it. And then any paint that you have. If you had black and white or black and brown and one other color, you can recreate this same idea. What I'm going to do is use my 3 colors to create an entire color palette, because when you start with such a limited amount of colors, when you start mixing them together, the colors all match and they all go together. So I'm going to start with the magenta straight out of the tube, and I am just making stripes on the page. There's no way to mess this up. I wanted to make them in all different thicknesses because with collage paper, every little detail ends up mattering to me in the final product when it's time to cut or rip it up and add it to a project. And so variation in the thicknesses of these stripes is going to be something that I'm looking for later. I'm going to do the same exact thing with my brown paint. Again, it's just straight out of the paint tube. I'm using the brown to do the same thing and add some stripes across the page. I have now used all the colors on my palette, the brown, the magenta, and the white. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is start mixing. So I'm going to start with just the white and the brown, and now I have a 4th color for my color palette that looks great with all of the other colors. And I could do this in so many different ways. I could add the pink and the brown together. I could add this new color to the pink and see what happens. I could add the pink and the white. And so use the palette that you've made of your 2 neutrals and your 1 color to play with all of the different colors that you could make. And soon you will find that you know how to mix your very own color palette. Now that I have my page filled with stripes, I don't want to miss this part. You have to dry the page before you move on to the next step. So get out all your doodling implements and let's start to have fun. I still have my palette of colors next to me, and so what I'm going to do is just add some sort of doodle or some sort of special touch to every single stripe on this page. And so I start with little pink dots of paint in some of my brown stripes, and I'm going to just start doodling in every stripe, and you are welcome to use the same exact doodles as me, but I hope you can see there's nothing perfect about this. I am just having fun figuring out which colors look good together and trying to enter the flow. And that is always the goal for me when I am making mixed media art, is to enter the flow, which is like getting in the zone for an athlete or anyone who has a practice like this. It's when you know that you're making something beautiful that you will be happy with at the end, but you're at a point where you don't need to think too much and your brain just kind of takes over and you're in the zone. And so as you doodle on your page, use this time to get in the flow, to just not overthink it and see what happens. These are the moments that can add so much joy and meaning and even fulfillment to life, as silly as that is to say about a piece of collage paper. These are moments where my brain can rest while also functioning in a pretty high capacity. I always love adding some of my own words to my art, even if no one else can read what it says. And so I am going to use some of these stripes to write in teeny tiny cursive and just add some words to the page. So now you get to watch me just add different doodles to each line on this paper, and it looks amazing all together like this, but it's also going to look really cool when you see how I used this collage paper in a future video. It's so cool. All right, now that we have filled this page with our marks and our words, look at how exciting and amazing this looks. And it really was not that hard. All it takes is that bravery to sit down with a little bit of paint and this piece of paper and get started. So as always, my goal here is that you go out and make some art. And so if you end up making some collage paper, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you'd like to see the tutorial of what I do next with this collage paper. Thanks for being here today. Bye.